Hi there, welcome to my hobby bench. My name is Ken, and this is Terminator Tuesday. Alright, so in this episode here, we're going to be working on issues 41, 42, 43, and 44. And again, for this build, as always, I'll be following along with Todd, aka Marvel Phoenix, and his build site is myterminatorT800.com. You can check out his site, and you can see that he's also got links to other builds that he's done, many parts build kits that he does, great photos and instructions, kind of points out a lot of things that may catch you up in causing errors and stuff. So I definitely would like to say thanks to Todd and say, hey, give him a look if you're looking at building parts kits, because he may have what you're looking for some instructions. So here are the parts for this build here. We have our vertebrae spindle. This is for this issue. We have that. We have vertebrae connector. We have vertebrae small, large. We have our vertebrae casing. There's a deeper one and a shallow one. We have four. They give me 5 of each of these, but it's all we need is 4 3 by 6 millimeter screws and 4 M3 spring washers. So that's the parts for this this issue. So let's get into building. All right, so to begin with, we're going to take our shallow vertebrae casing, goes into this, into here, like that, and it should sit flush. So that's what you're looking for, nice and simple. Next, we're going to take our next part here in line, and it just fits right through there, like that. And then we take our top rubber piece here, and it goes just like that. And then we're going to take this now, and we're going to connect it to our main Terminator body, what we've got completed so far. So, moving his arm out of the way, this is going to go underneath, and we want to make sure that these, if you look at the bottom here, it does have some flat areas with these, I guess they're points to line up other parts. So this is just going to slide into here like this, and then we're going to take our 4 screws with the washers, and we're going to insert it into those. So, and because it is metal going to metal, I will be using my 3-in-1 oil. Alright, so I'm using the screws and the washers provided. I've used a little 3-in-1 oil, and I'm using a pH 00 screwdriver. So we're just inserting these in and tightening them down. Just like that. So I'll get on to doing the rest of them here. Alright, there's all 4 of our screws in place, just like that. And that, along with these pieces here, is the end of issue 41. So let's move on to issue 42. Alright, here we are with the parts from issue 42. Not a lot here. We have 3 vertebrae pieces, small, medium, and large, and we have a spinal cord here. This piece here, you can see there are letters on the inside. This one is C for the small, D for the medium, D just down there in the corner. There we go. And we have, if we can see it, E just down in there. So that's our 3 parts there, and our spinal cord. So let's get to building. All right, for this part here, what we're doing is we're just doing a stacking, and we're going to be using our two vertebrae parts from the previous issue as well. So we're just taking our large on the bottom, and then we go to our medium, and then our small one. And then from the previous issue, we have an even smaller one, just like that. And then we have our top cap one, just like that. And then we have our spinal parts all stacked up. All right, so next we're going to move on here by putting the spinal cord in. You can see we have two ends. One end has the flattened sides on it in the threading. Yeah, there you go, you can see that. And the other end does not. So what we're going to be doing is just feeding this down through here. Now Todd said he had an issue feeding it all the way through, and he said possibly that doing it one at a time, is possibly the best way to do it. But you saw me here; I just did that, and I didn't have any issues whatsoever. All right, next moving on here, we're going to take our Terminator here. And again, we'll be working on the bottom here with the spine. And you can see these two, there's one on this side, one on that side, and you can see there are two slots for those to go into. So what we're going to do is we can just take our part here. All right, so this end here with the flat parts actually needs to go to the bottom so that the rest of the vertebrae can't fall off. And then we need to feed this up into here and begin screwing it into place. Just like that. And then we want to make sure that, loosen it off a bit, that the vertebrae are going into place there with those two notches. There we go, just like that. And then we can take and tighten this up. If you need, you can get yourself a wrench or some sort of tool to tighten this down even more. Just like that. And there we have it. We have our spinal cord attached. All right, now that's it for issue 42. Let's move on to issue 43. Here we are in issue 43. We're going to be working on the pelvis area, or the parts for the pelvis area. So here you can see we have two pieces of different size pelvic frame, a small and a large, obviously. Apparently this is all for the right side, is my understanding. Looking at Todd's instructions, we have some plates. One's a left, one's a right for, I guess, this assembly. And then we have two nuts here. We have two 6mm screws, 2x6, and one 2x4mm screw. So let's get to building. All right, so here we have our sprue of our two plates. You can see on here that one is listed as R for right, and one is listed as L for left. So what we need to do is take our right one. I'm just going to take our sprue cutter here and just remove it from the sprue. Set that aside, and I'm just looking to see if it needs cleanup. It looks pretty good for what we're going to be doing. So I'll leave that as is for now. If we do need, we can come in with some Molotow liquid chrome here, and we can touch up that sprue connection point if we need to. I don't think we'll need to, but we'll see. All right, next we're going to take our pelvis part here and just orientate it like this. And then we take our right piece that we just disconnected, and we just put it into place. So this part here goes through this hole like that. And then we're going to take our 4mm screw and we're going to insert it in this little hole right here. So these parts off the sprue are obviously plastic, so they're no use for 3-in-1 oil. Again, just using my 00 screwdriver. And just snug it into place like that. Alright, next up we're going to take our two nuts here and place them into position here, into these two holes right here and here. Now, using Todd's previous advice, he suggested using a toothpick or cocktail stick to take your bolts and just to drop them into place so they fit just like that, so you don't have any issues like that and that. There we go. Next, Todd is recommending that we take two pieces of small pieces of tape and just tape those into place so that the nuts don't fall out. So just like that. And then finally we can take this and turn it over without our nuts falling out. Bring in our smaller pelvic piece here. And we can see it's going to be orientated like this. So that the letter R should be facing up. And it just goes right into position here. You can see it kind of falls into place and hooks. Now we're going to take our screws here. Now, because it is going into metal, I will be using 3-in-1 oil. And here's two. There we go. Just make sure they're both screwed in well, just like that. I can remove that tape. So here's what we have at the end of issue 43. We still have this one part here still on the sprue, so it'll be for future use, and our pelvic piece here assembled. So let's move on to issue 44. Alright, here's our parts for issue 44. We have our pelvic girdle. This is plastic and it is marked with an R for the right hand side. This is our pelvic girdle detail. We have one of these black small 2x4mm screws. We have two of the 2x6mm, and we have 5 of the 2x4mm. Now, again, as always, there's always a spare. I had one spare of each, and I've removed them. So let's get on building. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our take our pelvic girdle here and our pelvic part here that we'd assembled previously, and we're going to just put them together. Take note, we have screw parts for here, 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 and here, as well as one down in here. So, and these are going to line up, and your flat detail part here should line up in this area here. So, just like that. Make sure your screws line up, just like that. And then we're just going to fit it into place. So that goes nice and flush right down in there. And then these should line up as well. There we have it. All right, next we're going to insert our two 6mm screws, one into this hole right here and one into this hole right here. And again, just going into plastic, so we're not using our 3-in-1 oil. There we go. That's one. There's our second one. Next, we're going to take 4 of our 2x4 screws, and we're going to be inserting them into the holes here, 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 and here to finish this up. Alright, so I was having issues fitting this last screw in here. So what I did is I took all the screws out, removed the part, centered up this hole first, and actually put this screw in here. So once it was in, tightened down, then I inserted these two here, the longer 6mm screws. And at that point, this hole here wasn't really lining up that well. I had to just kind of force it in, and then it kind of shifted just a little bit and dropped into place. So just something to be aware of while you're building this, that there may be a slight tight fit issue. But I'll continue reinserting the screws here, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, there we go. That's secured into place. Alright, next we're going to come in here with this extra pelvic piece here, and it just goes into place on the end here, just like that. And you're going to line up this screw hole with this spot right here. There we go, just like that. Now this is where that one black screw goes. Now because this screw is being inserted into metal, I am using some 3-in-1 oil. Here we go. Just like that. So you can see we have our black screw in place. Then finally we'll take our final 2x4 silver colored screw, and that's just going to go into this hole right here. Just like that. Alright, so you can see here this is our pelvic piece now all put together. So let's look at everything we've managed to cover for this episode. Alright, so that's what we have for this episode. You can see we got our spinal cord done. We have spare parts for one of our next following episodes. We managed to get our pelvic piece together, and it's starting to come together. So thanks for watching, take care, and
I'll be back.